is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. Capital One Arena in our nation's capital. Tonight, the Washington Wizards taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota begins the game with the basketball. Pass to the rim. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Jeff Teague. The Wizards at the controls. Screen coming. Wall matched up with the former Wildcat. Not done yet. And the rebound for Towns. To Teague. Nice pass to set things up.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Beal to Anthony. Screen coming. Has a chance. Yes, Carmelo Anthony missed his first. That one goes.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
Teague matched up with Carmelo Anthony. Almost unlucky bounce. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at three coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Free throw's good. A three-point play, and with that, they go up by three. Teague with it up top. He'll run the offense. A big finish at the rim. He climbed the ladder on that one.
Well, the question is, how big is the ladder? He's still climbing.
Wizards with the basketball. Wall. To Anthony. Has a look. Shot by Carmelo, no good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Wiggins. That pass stolen by the Wizards.
Now push it. Let's attack in transition so we can build this lead.
Anthony to Wall. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Teague with the basketball. They're down 3. To Wiggins. Here comes the screen. Wiggins against the former Finals MVP. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Wall across the timeline. Looking to make something happen. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Teague, guarded by Carmelo Anthony. Nothing going here on that drive. Teague. Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. but you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Misses the first. Missed the second one as well. Wall with it up top. Leads 3. And it's Minnesota's rebound. To Kevin Huerter. That'll get out of bounds off one of the T-Wolves. Into the front court. It's Wall. Up by 3. Nothing going here on that drive. Iguodala has it against the former #1 pick. Short jumper stays out.
That's called a heat check right there. Surprised he missed that one. That was an open look.
Wide open look won't go.
He missed that shot on his own. The defense didn't do anything on that play to make him miss.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
Bradley Beal at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. For his career, 79% at the line. Teague with it up top. Down 6. Jeff Teague. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
Here we go. I got him.
Beal to Anthony. Fires the 3. His first effort off the mark. To Kevin Huerter. Wiggins guarded by Beal. A fundamental shot right there.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
To Anthony. The drive right to the basket. Oh, straight down the middle for 2.
And Melo will be the first one to tell you this. He's not ready to be a role player just yet. He can still put up points in bunches. Didn't shoot the ball that well last year. Averaged around 16 a game. The lowest total of his 15-year career.
Wow. The screen sets him up for 2.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Washington basketball to Anthony. Trying to cash in, unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Towns.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
Wall into the front court. Leads a bucket. Beal to Anthony. Has a chance. Anthony a shot. No good. To Kevin Huerter. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. What do you see in John Wall's game, Jay, that sets him apart?
That he could probably finish with his left hand better than he could finish with his right. I remember watching him in high school. He was jumping off his right foot and dunking the ball lefty as if it was that easy. He can do it with both hands, which makes him way more efficient around the rim.
Wall defended by Jeff Teague. Knocked loose. Taken by the Wolves.
Pick up that sense of urgency. Here's a chance to break the tie.
Towns. He engulfed him that time.
Shooters shoot. period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Timberwolves have the basketball. Teague up against John Wall.
All right, now give me something. Give me something.
To Kevin Huerter. Towns. Good look that time, but off the mark. Slams it down. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
To Towns. Won't go. Iguodala to bring it up. Leads 4. Beal to Anthony. And Jay, they called the foul.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes.
Substitutions, Minnesota. Stepping in. Substitutions, Minnesota. Entering the game for the Wizards. Number 14,
To Covington.
Screen coming.
4-3. That's off the side of the rim, short. Wizards have it. To Smith. Great feed, sets it up. Now a steal by Washington.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Into the front court comes Wall, trailing by 4. Here comes the screen. Ish Smith. And the finish. Slam dunk.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
number 14, Ish Smith.
Come right.
To Covington. Layup goes down. Well done.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Oh, defender pulling the chair. To Kevin Huerter. Can't miss those. Ish Smith. To Wall. Spinning shot. Won't fall. Bayless into the front court. They lead it. 4-point game. To Kevin Huerter. Here comes the screen. That pass stolen by the Wizards. To Smith. Here comes the screen. Ish Smith. Off the assist.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
T-Wolves at the controls going up the floor. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots each and every one of them.
First one, count it. So he hits the first, misses the second. Wall across the timeline. Down 3. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
John Wall at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 78% at the line. First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2. Bayless into the front court. Leads 1. Wall to Smith. Covington rises for the slam.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Count the basket inside.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Bayless into the front court. His team up by 1. It's Washington with the basketball. To Kevin Huerter. From long range. Man, that was a tough shot.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing there.
Wall with it up top. Down 4. Nothing going here on that drive. Here's Wall for 2. Doesn't get the bounce.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
Into the front court, it's Wall. Now down 6. Here comes the screen. Wall. Missed a wide open look.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Wizards at the controls. To Wall. To Smith. Wall. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Bayless into the front court. His team on top by 8. To Covington. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Robert Covington is long, and it pays off with the 3.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough 2 rather than an easy 3.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
Substitutions.
Wall to Beal. Wall gets it in the left corner. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Yamahini with a beat.
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive. To Towns. Carmelo Anthony rejects it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Shot from the lane won't go. Beal to Wall. Nothing going here on that drive. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
They get it down for Towns. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Karl Anthony Towns trying to cash in on a three-point play. A career 83% free throw shooter. One free throw up and good. The lead now 14. Beal matched up with Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins swats it. Calls out of bounds off of Andrew Wiggins. Anthony. Down to 5 on the 24. Beal, oh, that's how it's done.
Even though the coach initially may not like that shot, now he's clapping because that ball went in.
The Timberwolves have the basketball. Napier guarded by Carmelo Anthony. Oh, nice find for the basket.
And when people talk about vision, people usually talk about the vision to make the pass. But how about seeing the chaos in the traffic before the pass even occurs? That's next level vision. How can I catch people out of position defensively? That's what we saw in that last possession.
Thomas to Beal. Fine to shoot. Thomas. And he'll go to the foul line.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
First try at the line, no good. No good on the first, no good on the second. 0 for 2. Wizards come up with it. Well, you can't do that.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
First one goes down. And gets both to drop at the line. It's Minnesota basketball. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Knocks down the first. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Thomas into the front court. Down 12. Beal defended by the Canadian Wiggins. Bradley Beal, 4 out of 7.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Napier with the basketball. His team leads it by 10. Here comes the screen. To Towns. Stuffs it down with authority.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
And that's rebounded by the Timberwolves. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Wizards. Napier sizing up Iguodala to Beal. Short jumper misses. Wiggins. Finish that. Wizards with the basketball. To Thomas. Anthony. Takes stock of the floor to Thomas. Here comes the screen. Thomas to Anthony. Short jumper stays out. Here comes the screen. To Towns. Shot clock winding down. Has a look. And the rebound taken by Iguodala. To Beal. Karl Anthony Towns sends it away.
That kid can block out the sun, man.
Wizards pull down the board. Anthony. Now a pass stolen by the Timberwolves. Taking advantage of the turnover.
And that is the sign of an unselfish team. When everybody in transition thinks they have a chance to get the ball because you have a willing passer, somebody willing to make other players on his team look great, that's only going to force your players to play that much harder on offense and give you more energy on the defensive end.
Time expires to end the first half. The Timberwolves enjoying the advantage.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Timberwolves are up after 2 quarters. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wizards have dug themselves a bit of a hole after 2 quarters. Of course, they still have 2 quarters to turn things around, but it won't happen without making some adjustments. These are the guys getting buckets for the Washington Wizards.
Game track. Bench points.
The Washington Wizards had enough difficulty dealing with the opposing starters, let alone their bench players. They really need to adjust for the depth of this opposing team and figure out how to slow them down.
Player of the half.
I like this choice because he really put on the show in the opening half. There's a reason he's a fan favorite.
cold.
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Fellas, back to you.
First half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. Washington basketball. Beal. To Wall. Won't go.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Iguodala to bring it up. Trailing by 14. Whoa! What a finish! Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
The screen sets him up for 2.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes 2 of us.
Wall into the front court. 14-point deficit. To Beal. Wall. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Wall to Anthony. For 3. And the rebound taken in by Towns. To Kevin Huerter. Wiggins. This guy's a handful. Andrew Wiggins, well defended, still able to score.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
To Anthony.
Watch back, watch back, watch back.
5 seconds to shoot. Wide open look, won't go. To Wiggins. Stuffs it down with authority.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Napier with the basketball. His guys hold a commanding lead. Nice pass to get things going.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Wall to Beal. Here comes the screen. Beal to Anthony. Nothing going here on that drive. Trying to cash in. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Going to launch beyond the arc. And Towns is there for the board. Napier with the basketball. His guys holding the big lead. No good. Defense catching a break there.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also, oh, out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. Napier with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Deep left corner. Wiggins down to 5 on the 24. No good. Into the front court comes Wall. His guys down big. Karl-Anthony Towns. with the block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Goes to the left side. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Wizards have it. To Anthony. Beal over to the right side. Here comes the screen. Iguodala against Karl Anthony Towns. Slams it down. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
To Towns, down low. The monster stuff.
In an era where big centers often get devalued, Karl Anthony Towns is a true foundational player. He can function as a traditional center, but also can show you quick moves around the perimeter and knock down that three-point shot from deep.
Wolves have it. Wiggins, down low Towns. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on, but the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Beal. Here comes the screen. Iguodala against Andrew Wiggins. Slam dunk. Now whistle as Minnesota's going to take the timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Looks like both teams are making substitutions. T up against John Wall. Off the mark. Wall across the timeline. Down a bundle. Got to the rim but couldn't finish.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. He sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. And the reward, he's going to the line.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
Oops, he missed the first one. Good bounce back, hits the second. It's a 1-of-2 trip. Teague with the basketball. He'll run the offense. To Towns. Nothing going here on that drive. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
It's Washington with the basketball. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
Teague matched up with Mahimi. Shot from the lane won't go.
It's because he took his eye off his target, Ed. As an offensive player, you have to glare at where the defender's coming to, but quickly redirect yourself to your actual target. He was more consumed with the defender than he was the actual rim.
Wiggins. Fight to shoot for Minnesota. To Towns. Beyond the arc for 3. And he's going to the line to shoot 2.
I can't believe I'm about to say this about an NBA team because this is what I say to my grammar school team. But just because a team is down on the scoreboard doesn't mean you stop playing hard and smart. You really have nothing to lose, but really good habits to gain.
Second to 3. Got it.
Minnesota. Subbing in.
3 for 3. Nice.
All right, let's bring the fire.
Into the game for the Washington Wizards.
All right, let's do this.
Substitutions
falls out of bounds.
We got this. Let's go.
Substitutions, Washington. Subbing in for the Timberwolves, number 21.
Teague fires the three. Tough shot. Well defended. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Scores from the post.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Teague with it up top. Up a dozen. To Kevin Huerter. Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short. Anthony, picked up by Teague. To Thomas.
Hey, you got the screen right, screen right, screen right.
They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Thomas. Deep 2 there. Won't go.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
To Thomas.
Here we go.
Has a chance. Thomas's shot there won't go. Minnesota with the basketball. Covington. To Kevin Huerter. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Short jumper off the mark. Goes reverse to lay it in.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Teague with the basketball. Lead is 12.
Screen come on the left.
2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Gets it at the top of the key. Teague to Kevin Huerter. He throws it down.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Here comes the screen. 5 to shoot for Washington. Fires the 3. Good for 3.
This game comes down to micro adjustments. Either mismatches, ball screens, slipping action on those ball screens, quick fades to threes. It just seems like you're actually finding your rhythm offensively.
To Teague. 4-3. And he can't get it to go down. It's no good. Thomas with the basketball. His guy's down 11. Gorgie Jang pins it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Teague. Carmelo Anthony. Huge block. T-Wolves recovered.
Hey, I'm open.
Not that time. Jan Mahinmi snatching it out of the air. It's theirs now.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
To Teague. And finish. finishes strong.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Anthony buries it on the catch and shoot.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
It's a victory for the Timberwolves as they get a good win on the road. That does it. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Timberwolves edged out a close victory in today's game. I could get into detail about their play calling and shot selection, but let's be honest. We all know that the dunks were the most exciting. I'd be surprised if the rim isn't a little bit bent at this point. The Wizards just couldn't close this one out. Sure, it's great they shot so well from three, but none of that really matters when your team has one more loss to show for it. Check out the leading scores for the Washington Wizards.
Game trap. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
Karl Anthony Towns made it his mission to destroy all kinds of shots. Well, mission accomplished. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here's a view of the upcoming games for the Washington Wizards. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.